let's just get into it. Obviously, Liverpool Premier League champions, well deserved, well earned. Clearly, the best team this season. I think if you look at their season in general, I think you can kind of split it up into three parts. I think the first third of the season they were excellent. They were at their best, and then into the winter months, they were still playing at a really high level, but trying to balance all the other competitions. And now this third half has just been we haven't been playing well, but somehow the teams around us just aren't providing any pressure, and it doesn't really matter.
Mm.
When I was watching the game today, I thought Liverpool played well, but I sent a text during the game and said, "This Spurs team is atrocious." Um, Gio, what's your take on not just today, but this season in its entirety for Spurs?
Well, I don't know where to start. So I'm gonna start at the beginning. So the season began. My blood is boiling. The season began, and everybody was pretty hyped because when Ange first came in, we had the full squad. Everybody was healthy, top of the league for the beginning of the first season. Everybody was ecstatic. I was sort of ecstatic, but
You guys
when
were
you start
buzzing.
to watch, oh yeah, we was buzzing. We was buzzing. But when you start to watch players run forward without the ball, knowing they're not going to get the ball, and you turn around and all you have is Van de Ven and Romero, just no help around them. You start to think to yourself, nah, he's not attacking. He's just a menace. Like he doesn't care. Like I don't know if they train engaged like defending. I don't know what they do in training. But that's whatever. Besides the point. Everybody got hurt towards the midpoint of the season. Everybody's like, okay, cool. Let's wait for everybody to come back. It'll be great. All he's going to do is just run everybody back into the ground again.
Mm.
And so now we're put in a position where today I got to look at Kevin Danso and Ben Davies as my defenders. It was an unwinnable situation, bro. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I can't take Ed seriously because he does not help himself at all, bro. You could put play two DMs to give Madison some security. You could keep Udogi and we had Jet Spence playing right back today. You could try to give your players some security, but nah, he just got to play a specific style every single game. I heard an announcer say you could watch Tottenham play in October and you play them in March. It's the same exact style. You don't got to do any. You don't got to change any report. It's just horrible, bro.
Well, it's something we've talked about a lot. Like we understand that he wants to play a certain way, but the fact that you went from Romero and Van de Ven to Davies and Danzo playing center back, and you think he's going to
Dog.
be able to play the same way, it's just asinine. Like Kenny, I know you you wanted to talk about like we talk about it every week. He's just so stubborn. He's just stubborn.
Oh yeah, I mean that'll be later in the episode. I'm sure there's some names for our manager debate that that are going to be said today. I guess my question to you, Gio, without manager talk aside, like James Madison was captain, and I feel like I feel like he's had one of the most interesting seasons as a Spurs player because you see him not getting not even getting on the roster for some games, and all of a sudden he's captain. What's going on there?
I mean, there's not a lot of options. Like, there's not a lot of captain. Like, honestly, we got. I love Son to death. The man is a veteran. He went to war for his country. I love the man.
It's real shade over there. There ain't no sun, man. There ain't no sun over
Ain't no sunshine, and
there.
she's gone, bro. There's nothing, dog. Like my captains are James Madison, who we got from a relegated Leicester. I don't think people understand that the man was about to be in the championship. He was about to play Preston 2 times a year, and we signed him and expected him to carry us in Europe, bro. And then I got to look at Son, who's what? I think he's like 33 now.
It's
Like
around there. Yeah.
the legs are gone. They're gone. And so you run the wingers into the ground. You sign Tell in the winter. That's besides the point. That's a whole nother argument.
Oh, that's a whole other episode.
Whole nother argument. But my captains don't do nothing. All Madison does is camp out on the left wing and just try to do a little tippy tappy, a little good little tidy touch. Plays the ball too late all the time, or he doesn't pick his head up to take a shot. I don't know what to tell you. The man doesn't. He plays in the shadow.
Yeah, no, I mean, you summed it up perfectly. I just really thought today was so funny because when Spurs scored, I genuinely think no one believed they had a chance to win the game.
Nobody.
Like,
And what's so funny is if you pair this game with the game we played against City last year when Arsenal could have won the league,
mm,
night and day, night and day
yeah.
difference. Like that game last year. I mean, we always play well against City for some reason. I don't know why,
Mhm.
but Solanke scores, and I look at my girlfriend. I said, "For what? For what? Like we're just wasting each other's time here." And as soon as he scored, I was like, "That's exactly what Anfield needed to get up. That's exactly what the Liverpool players needed to start playing harder." And that's all they did for the next 45, 60 minutes.
50, 60, 70.
On the commentary after he scored, the commentator was just like, it's 10 minutes in. I don't think Liverpool's going to have to change very much here. they didn't change anything. And Spurs just like playing out from the back and playing themselves into trouble. I want to read some names to you. Vicario, Udogi, Gio's disgusting.
Udogi style.
Davies, Danzo, Spence, Bergvall, Gray, Madison, Tell, Solanke, and Johnson. If you really deep it, there's maybe like 4 players there that are probably good enough to play in the Premier League for a top 6 club. And I don't even think I'm hating that hard. Like, that 11's just not good at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so funny. It's just so funny because like Gio said, there was so much potential for this year. This is their 19th loss. I think it's their 19th loss in the league. I don't think numbers have ever been hit that high for Spurs. Like Gio, it hasn't, right?
No.
Yeah.
This is as bad as it's ever been.
Yeah, and it's a mixture of when you sign Tell and he's trying to be the peacemaker with fans back in the or earlier in the season. It's I think it was the last goal for Liverpool. Whoever gave the ball away, instead of playing it out wide, you lose it, and all of a sudden it's just another 5v3 counterattack. There's just so many moments that really just make Spurs hilarious this year. I'm sorry.
They spent like 60 million on Solanke. I like Solanke. He's a good player. What are you spending 60 million for? Like he's a good player. Like he was at Bournemouth. He'd be great for Bournemouth.
Yes.
You went from Kane to Richarlison to Solanke. What are you doing off the
Give them the fairness of saying they needed him for the registration because he's an English player. He's a homegrown player. So cool, whatever. But guys, we can't be serious with this man up top, dog.
He hit your celly though at Anfield, his old club. Just a little.
He didn't even celebrate. That was the biggest half-ass celebration. He knew they were going to get clapped. He was just like,
He knew.
Pulled the arrow back. He didn't give it the whole. He just went.
Just a tiny arrow.
Yeah.
After celebrating, I was like, bro, you were at Liverpool. Like, you were there.
Yeah.
It was years ago, but
Low-key, I kind of like it though. I'm not even mad at it. But he probably should have done the John Morant grenade celly because that team needs to explode. It needs to implode. There's so much that needs to change. But
There's a reason he's not at Liverpool.
yeah,
exactly.
Spurs said that's a good idea. Let's bring him in.
yeah.
For 60 mil.
Ugh.
And you pretty much named the whole team sheet. If you run through that midfield of Madison, Bergvall, and that was Archie Gray playing in the 6.
Good young players.
Archie Gray played in the 6 in a game where Liverpool had to win the league. All they had to do was get a point. and I had to watch Archie Gray play against grown men.
Yeah, I can't even lie. I can't even lie. Archie Gray, he's a Nepo Prem baby. Like he has generations of Premier League in him. It's like
Yeah,
his heritage. And the fact that Spurs is putting him through this, like, come on. There's heritage in his blood. And you have this guy going against a McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai. Come on.
it's not the time, dog. His brother just celebrated getting promoted last week, and this man just got 5 on him at Anfield. This is not a
Yeah.
joke, dog. This
No.
team, I don't know how you build a team this bad. If
Yeah.
you run through that battery of Vicario, Davies, and Danso, that is relegation fodder. That is bottom of the table.
I hear it. I hear it. And I feel like before we continue the Spurs talk, because I think they come up again, welcome everyone to another episode of Remotely Related. I'm one of your hosts, Kenny, here. We got Smitty. We got Lando. We have pod debutant Gio in the building.
What a day, man.
What a day. What a day. And I think we can switch gears for a little bit because although it was just Spurs being Spurs, like Smitty started, Liverpool won the league. A lot of celebrations going on. A lot of, what would you say? Was this 2 combined celebrations because of the COVID year, right? Something like that?
I don't know, but it looked like they're having a hell of a time.
Well, I wanna go off of that because you texted me a question that I think only made sense that we all can answer since this is the spirit of the show. So, how much alcohol do you think Liverpool supplied the team with? Like, what if we really put our brains to it? How much alcohol do you think was involved here?
It's got to be a lot. It's got to be a lot. I mean, you look at some of the characters in the dressing room. I've known Lando for a while now. Lando and Andrew Robertson on a night out would be an absolute problem.
That would be a legendary duo, bro.
Well, that's the outside back pairing. And
Up and
Lando,
down to the bar, up and down the bar and back.
if you were going out with a crew of Robertson, Szoboszlai, and Allison, I don't know if you can think of 3 better guys on that squad to go out with. You got a little bit of everything.
I'd be that ugly dude that no girl wants to talk to.
Lando, you got to have faith in yourself because I don't think the viewers know that like on a night out when it's all the lads, like Gio for context, we all played college ball together. Like we made a conference final for the first time in school history or like in 20 years. Like we were doing our thing. And that was just on the pitch, off the pitch. Off the pitch. We had our say.
In the rafters.
The jerseys are in
In the
the
rafters.
That's exactly. And with this guy Lando here, I feel like if I didn't see at least 3 stanky legs in the middle of the club, like when all the boys are like, go Lando, and I'm gonna have my 2 rum and cokes and just be like, yeah, Lando, I like that, I like that. So Lando, you gotta have faith, man. You gotta have faith.
I cannot confirm or deny if that is true, but yeah. Team vibes, bro. Team vibes definitely
My phone
helps.
camera can.
Yeah, maybe the Spurs need to take a little lesson from our team because it doesn't seem like
They
anyone,
should black out every single night.
yeah,
Yeah.
no one's really enjoying that. They're going home by themselves and drinking themselves.
Yeah.
And
James Madison's probably hanging out a good bit with Jack Grealish, and those guys are having a good time together.
Jack Grealish is probably at the function.
Jack
Yeah.
Grealish is probably at the celebration right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wearing his last year's stuff.
He has the treble winner shirt on.
Oh man.
Celebrating since last year.
Yeah. I mean, based on his season, he probably has been.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is absolutely hilarious.
If you want
Ugh.
to talk about the game, I want to bring up a name. I think he's been going under the radar a bit. I think the Gravenberch situation and how he changed his game and became so good playing the 6 kind of took the shine away. But I think Alexis McAllister has been up there with the best midfielders in the world this season. I really
Talk
do.
your talk. Talk your talk.
And it's not always the goals and the assists, but Pedri, Declan Rice, Caicedo, Bellingham. I think these are the conversations that Alexis McAllister is finding himself in because he has been class. Am I reaching too far or no?
What?
I might be.
Gio, go ahead. Gio, go ahead.
To be fair, a man that is Argentinian and Irish, that is a dangerous combo. That is a scary little man right there. But I think he's fantastic. I think he's probably one of the best midfielders the Premier League has to offer. But when you get to Jude conversations, that's different. Maybe not even Jude. I'll say Pedri, Gavi. Those are a little different
Well,
conversations.
I mean, Jude is in that conversation, Gio. Don't.
Sometimes he overruns a little bit, but he's there. He's there. But man, I think Pedri's best in the world. I love Pedri.
Fair.
But McAllister, he's definitely up there for sure in the conversation. I'll give you that.
He's not road class yet, but I think he's the tier below road class.
I'm fully there with you.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm fine with that. And I feel like McAllister's been like your guy for the past couple months, even when Liverpool seems like they're going to be on a skid or like something's going wrong. It's always been McAllister who's either stepped up with a goal or assist or just the way that he's playing. So he's clearly I think he's been outshined by the start of Gravenberch, like you said, like that part, but over the past 2 years you could argue he's been Liverpool's best even player, maybe? Over 2 years?
35 million.
It's not 60.
That's about double that.
Yeah.
We paid 40 for Archie. I think.
I mean, that's still better than 60 for.
Then yeah, my man.
Yeah.
Wait till
The anime.
Yeah.
wait till they buy Tell at the end of the season.
Oh my god. I'm not too angry about 50 for Tell, but 60 for Solanke will always hurt my soul.
Yeah, no, I feel it. Just trying to think here in terms of. Oh, here's what I got, Gio. So, if because I had this hypothetical here. If Spurs was to win the Europa League, would that be a bigger accomplishment than Liverpool winning the league this year?
I will say the Europa League this year is dealing with the fact that the format change has made it a little bit easier to win because those Champions League teams are not dropping in to Europa anymore.
Right.
So, oh, man, Liverpool winning this year, nobody expected it. Literally nobody expected it.
I think they said 5% chance.
Yeah, because everybody. I mean, if beginning of the year, if you sat down with any fan and said, Man City's not winning the league, who's going to win it? Everybody would say Arsenal. And the fact that City has fallen off the way they have, Arsenal, they're second, whatever. And then the fact that Liverpool are winning, especially with the style of play that they have this year compared to, the way that Klopp had them playing, you got to give them their credit. So I think them winning is the biggest achievement any English team could have.
Fair. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Lando, any thoughts as an Arsenal fan? Bigger accomplishment?
I mean, they're not going to win it, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, we can play hypotheticals all day, but like, let's just be honest, they're not going to win it, and we don't need to have a conversation.
I mean,
next question, please.
There's a very good chance that they're going to play Manchester United in the final. And I don't know if you saw Manchester United this morning, but I mean, there are under 18 teams that could beat Manchester United in the state that they're in right now.
Yeah. Hey, and look, we still got to get past Bodo Glimp. Nothing in life is promised.
Hey, like you said, they got to take you there.
Do you think Ange is leaving no matter what, Gio?
Yeah. He has to.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. And it's just too it's too toxic. When you're a manager and you're getting this much heat after every game, and I mean, winning Europa League, it's no easy feat. I'm not going to say he, should stay either, but he should probably go for the safety of himself and his sanity. He should probably leave.
I hear it.
I
I
guess
hear it.
another part of the question would be, do you think Ange could succeed anywhere else in the Prem? But I don't know what the answer to that is
I
either.
think I think I think we save that
We'll
because
say that. We'll say
that's a great question. And Smitty, this is your day. Liverpool won the league officially. Is there anything else on your mind that you want to talk about? Anything that you really want to say? I know there were some Caicedo Lavia jokes potentially, but
Yeah, they
you
should
know.
get them claps ready. Get the claps ready. 11
Do
on
you
this side, 11 on this side. Gravenberg's gonna walk right down the middle. Caicedo, Lavia, I know you didn't want to join us 2 years ago. Clap it up. I know
what
you
like a
chose.
golf clap?
Yeah,
Would
golf
it
clap's
be
fine. Golf clap's
okay?
fine.
Okay.
I know you chose your 9-year contract over winning trophies. Just clap it up. Clap it
Mm.
up. Zubamendi, turn on the television. If there's any
Eat the
chance,
paella.
if
Turn on
there's
the
any
TV.
chance Zubamendi could sign his Arsenal contract now and be in the crowd at Anfield for when they play Arsenal, and he can see it, that'd be great too. Zubamendi, clap it up. I think you're like 14th in La Liga. You could have been Premier League champion. Clap it up. Thank you very much.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
who else? I'm not going to go at Jude. You go to Madrid. I'm fine with that. I'm not going to disrespect you for that. But going to Chelsea, just who is my question is this: I need to know who is managing these players because the thing that came out the other day about how much teams are spending on agents and stuff and how much money they're making. Obviously, they are making shit tons of money to put their players in worse footballing positions
Mm.
because some of these guys are making terrible decisions. I understand living in London is probably a lot better than living wherever Liverpool's players are living. But, I mean, you either want to win things or you don't.
I like that. I like that.
When you win, though, you can talk crazy.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
This is the day.
Yeah.
And
Today
you
is the
better
day.
tell Trent. You better tell Trent to make a U-turn and come on back.
I don't know what to think about this guy anymore. He looks pretty damn happy.
He did.
I saw a
It's
video.
over.
I saw a video of Trent talking to Liverpool's owner, who hasn't been at Anfield, I think, in 9 months. So who knows? Maybe he said, "Do you want a yacht?" And Trent maybe said yes, and he said, "Okay, I'll get you a yacht." I'm
I mean,
staying.
I mean, speaking of the celebrations, what I did want to call out was I did see everyone just buzzing so happy, but there was one player where I'm like, if I look a little closer, I think the celebration looked a little forced. I think he knew the writing was on the wall, and that's Darwin Nunez. I don't know if anyone else got the chance to see the celebration, but they're all trying to get him involved. They're all putting the hand around. He's like, "Get these hands off me!"
Did you see what he Did you see what he tweeted this week?
What happened? For the
Let
people
me
who don't know what happened.
let me find it. I'll find the
All right.
exact tweet.
Yeah, fair. And in the meantime, though, it was just something I noticed because obviously he's had quite an interesting season with Liverpool and their fans. So go ahead, Smitty.
This was tweeted 24 hours ago. So yesterday morning, I believe. And it's in whatever language it is, but translated from Spanish by Google. No wonder I didn't play more because the last game I started in the Premier League went well, and suddenly, ... He deleted the tweet.
No. No. How
So
could
this
you
guy-
delete the tweet?
This guy, thank you for your services. He is a great player. He is honestly, I think he's a £100 million player. I hope Saudi Arabia comes in and spends $100 million on him. That'd be fantastic because then we could reinvest that money in the squad. Now, if a team in Europe bought him, they'd probably not want to pay more than $40 million for him. But there is a tax involved there when you're kind of playing meaningless football at the age of 25. So $100 million, I think, would get the job done. But honestly, at this point, I'd sell him for about a couple washing machines and a dryer to just keep the kits
Okay.
going.
All right, fair enough. I mean, another person whose kit was clean that I think really wanted to be there but just didn't know what was going on was Chiesa. Like, I don't know if you saw during the celly, like the same way he took like 20 minutes to realize that his goal counted in that Newcastle final. I think he was trying to like listen to the English but it just wasn't resonating and he wanted to be there so bad. I could see it in his eyes. Like it wanted to mean something, but he genuinely just didn't understand what was happening.
That man Chiesa just took a 1-year vacation in England,
Yeah.
won a title, and he's probably going to go right back to Italy.
Probably.
I think he'll stay. I think he's gonna stay.
I hope he stays. I think everybody loves him. I think everyone's
Yeah.
asking, like, why isn't he playing? We would have rather seen him play than Nunez for the last 3 months. But
Can I say something real quick about Nunez? I feel like things are very simple when you just sit down and like points don't lie. Points don't tell it. There's no fibs. Points are points. If I play, how much did Darwin play last season? Probably like 30. He probably started 30 games last season
It
in
was
the
up
league.
there. It
probably,
was up
yeah.
there.
If I say, hey, we didn't win the league when I started all these games, but the year that we win the league, I've been riding bench most of the season. I feel like there's a correlation in there that should be easy to see. But I don't know. He
I mean,
kind of strikes me as a guy that's just so like hot headed and I'm the right one. And it shows when he plays because he is a great player. I do think he's very powerful and effective. But buddy, say me how. What them Tigers? Get him out of here. It's time to go, brother. It's
I
time.
think I think he's a good player depending where he plays. Like if he's playing for Liverpool, if you're playing striker, you just have to finish chances. And he's not a guy that's ever going to just finish chances. Now, if you're a team that wants to just cause havoc, like he might actually work well in Spurs ball, where it's just press and just go forward.
You make a great point. I mean, Semenyo can't score anyway, so Nunez is perfect, like symmetrical. It's a
Nunez
shot.
Nunez in his Spurs jersey, the thought of it has me
It's abysmal.
crying.
It's abysmal.
Like it's so funny. That is so funny.
But tell Levy that he's available for 40 mil. Oh my God, he'll be signed tomorrow.
Yeah. True.
I mean, he has 7 goals in 43 games this year. That's not
That is-
necessarily what you want for a guy you spent 85 million on.
And some of the chances he misses are insane.
Yeah. Yeah. But okay. I think we'll wrap it up there for the Prem roundup because I think that's the only important issue. But I think it's time to switch gears. I think we talked.
I can't wait for this. This is going to be so good.
We talked about it a little bit, but for the viewers out there, we're gonna be deciding who the top 5 worst managers in the Prem are this season. The way it's gonna work, Gio has a list, and then we all have a list. Gio is gonna read out the 5 names in no particular order on his list, and then based on the names he says, we're going to make a case as to any other names that we have as to why that should be top 5. Once that happens, Gio's going to go from 5 to 1 on his list. We're going to talk through everything again. And at the end of it, we'll see if we can have one cohesive list or if Gio wants to keep it the same or if we all have the same, we'll see. But at the end of the day, we're going to see what type of ball knowledge we got, what's going on. And yeah, boys, are we ready?
I'm excited. The names I have on this list.
The names I have on this list are crazy. So, without further ado, Gio, let us know the 5 managers that you have on your list.
I have an honorable mention, but I'm gonna save that because I feel like his name will be brought up in the conversation. So I'll
Probably.
see if it happens. One of them, Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Okay.
On the list.
Yes, sir.
Boy. Oh my God. That's just one. Number 2, Graham Potter. Wow.
Yep.
On
Okay.
my list.
Keep
Number
going.
3, personal vendetta. I hate this man with all my heart. Gary O'Neill. Brother,
Oh
you
wow.
on my list.
Okay.
4, you could choose whichever manager. This is the club as a whole. Southampton. Just Southampton. Just you can pick which one you want. It doesn't even matter. And then number 5, I got my very own Ange Postacoglu.
Okay. What a
Top 5.
list. What a
Top
list.
5.
Now, um, before I blow this up, does anyone else have any other names that they
Yeah,
would like to share?
I'll run through my list. I'll caveat this by saying I didn't include Southampton's manager,
Yep.
even though, yes, it was terrible. I don't think Pep would have been able to keep Southampton up, to be
That is
completely
true.
honest. But here's my list. Number 5, I have Julian Lopetegui out of
That's a yeah.
It's a good shout.
West Ham.
It's a
At
good shout.
4, I have Ruben Amorim. At
Hmm.
3,
I thought I had him on my list.
I have Ange Postacoglu. At 2, I have Sean Dyche. And at 1, I have Ruud van Nistelrooy. And I have reasons for all of them, but we
Sean-
can wait.
So, yeah, no, we can wait. Smitty, I'll let you speak to the ones that you have that Geo doesn't have as part of that. But Lando, any names that you have that haven't been said yet? Anything you want to speak about?
I got the I know we already mentioned the one Man United manager, but I also had the other one in there.
You had Ten Hag. I love that. I love that.
But kind of going off for Gio, I basically had Manchester United in a whole. So
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I heard some names, hearing a lot of good names. Now, guys, I hate to do this to you, but I got Pep Guardiola at 5. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And here's why. Here's why. So a lot of what I was basing this on is just like what you have and like expectations in terms of and then how that translates to performance. And with Pep Guardiola, I know earlier on in the year, our podcast was having a time when there was that stretch of 13 games winless or whatever it was. These were things that just shouldn't be allowed if you're Pep Guardiola in Manchester City. Like, there's no way it should have even got to that point. And I just went, when I think about it too, because Smitty mentioned Amorim. Amorim's beaten him 3 times this year. I'm trying to think like
I got plenty of damning
I'm
stats on Amorim.
trying
If
to
you-
think
if
like
you want to talk about Amorim being good, I got plenty of numbers that prove that he's terrible.
it's fine. It's fine. Just I'll take this for now, and then you can say whatever you want to say after.
I'm waiting.
So it's like a mixture of those things, and then when he was in that rough patch, what type of manager gets beaten up mid-season? Everyone remember when he had them scratches on his head? It looked like what Lando was talking to me about over the weekend. Patrice Everett joined an MMA thing, and it looks like Patrice Everett beat him up. Like this is what it looked like. And there's just so much with Pep that I despise. Whether it's like Matthias Nunes and the Nico O'Reilly turning into outside backs when they're clearly center mids, when they clearly have shown, or Nunes at Wolverhampton showed why he was one of the better midfielders in the league. Like, there's so many things that Pep's done that he's just on my list for 5. And yeah, I can leave it there. If there's anything else that people want to say before Gio just talks about his list.
No, I was gonna say for. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Gio.
I was gonna say for Pep, I feel like if one player getting injured derails your whole season, you're not that guy.
You're not that guy.
You're not that guy. Guardiola, this is my hot take. I feel like nobody agrees with me when I say this. I feel like Vardial could have easily stepped into that Raju position and done what he does.
Ooh, you found the right
He does.
pod. You
He
found the right
does trade. And you can play players just because they don't play exactly like you want them to. A Nunez could fit in your team. Like you can fit players in and not just shun them out and be mad and now Nunez got to play right back because I don't have any other right back, so it's got to be Nunez.
Yep. Once you
I
once
don't
you
know.
get to a point, for me, once you get to a point where you can't get the best out of your players, or the majority of them are underachieving, I
Yep.
think this just has to go to you. Like
Yep.
at some point, you're the problem for it. So
Any team that can't make Doku and Grealish work, you got to figure that out.
turning players into a shadow of themselves.
Yeah.
I have no problem with Pep being on there. If Pep's on there, though, I do want to ask the question. They are only 6 points behind Arsenal right now.
Yep. Oh, I thought there was a question.
Just some food for thought.
I
No,
hear.
I'm not saying Arteta's nowhere near the list of worst, but I'm just saying if he's worse, if he's in the top 5 worst managers this season, and they're missing their best player, they are still only 6 points behind Arsenal right now.
I get it.
feel that.
I hear it. For me, when you have a plethora of quality players around you, you should be able to make it work. And what I started with my list was like just expectations versus the reality of it.
Yeah.
No one expected City to be in this predicament, but everyone's accepted it now. So that's why I just got Pep there.
Yeah, Kenny, I was going to put him as my honorable mention because of the things you said, but also I look at the roster that they have. Man City's close to $1.1 billion. You want to bring up Arsenal. Arsenal is only 740 million. So
Okay. I like it. I like it.
And
But-
respectfully, in football manager talk, he would have been fired. He would have been gone.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you.
He would have been gone.
But,
Tottenham has a more expensive roster than we do, but
oh, well,
I just think it's a little harsh. I just think it's a little harsh.
Fair. But okay. No, that was honorable mentions, but like Gio, just from 5 to 1, just talk a little bit more about the manager and then we can go from there.
So for Rude, I feel like it's just Leicester is a tough situation to walk into. But defensively, they are just abysmal. Like they are bad. Like that's why for me, I couldn't have Sean Dyche in my list because he knows the team is, or at least in his brain, we now see it's different with Moyes managing. But when Dyche was there, he said the team is trash. We're just going to roll the ball across the 6-yard box, sit deep,
Not Deitch ball.
Deitch ball.
Oh man.
Dyche ball, and it kept them. I mean, they had their heads above water for most of the season. Whereas Rude is still trying to play like a little bit more progressive football. That's kind of why I had him. You got to look in the mirror, bro. You got to know what you're walking into.
No,
Jamie
who you
Vardy's your
have.
best striker. Long ball. Let's keep it simple. That's why I have him there.
What I had for Rude was very simple. Securing only 2 wins in 21 league matches. Period. They also failed to score in 9 consecutive home Premier League games.
Yeah.
Do you know how impossible it is to not score in 9 consecutive
You know what's
games
crazy?
at home?
I remember hearing that, and once they scored, I think it was against Brighton or something, they go, "Oh, it's been 13 hours since Leicester scored." I said 13 hours?
Yeah.
Do you know how much you can do in 13 hours?
Yeah. Like they're bad.
Yeah.
They're bad.
No, Gio, it's a great pick, and I know you had him as 5th?
I'll have him as 5 because
So-
it's a tough situation.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I just had him as 3 because, yeah, the situation to me doesn't matter. If you know what you have, make it work. And clearly, we saw the managing capabilities just weren't there.
Well, I think what made it worse is that he went in there after a decent couple games at United, and they probably thought he was going to be the savior and was going to keep him up.
Yeah. Didn't he beat... Oh, no. I was going to say, didn't he beat Leicester? But I think it was the other way around when United played Leicester and Rude was like, guys, just, you can beat us. We don't care.
They'll give me a job afterwards, dog.
Yeah, we're all getting paid.
There's a chance he goes on the company track and becomes the manager of Manchester United next season.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
Wow.
Man, if that happens, fires outside the stadium.
Yeah. I feel like they're already happening, but
They'll bring it on again.
Yeah.
Like that worked last time.
Yeah. Okay, your fourth worst, Gio?
I did go with Southampton for fourth worst. But situation, horrible team. I'm willing to part ways with Southampton in my list.
I can't even lie to you. I
Yeah.
couldn't name you 3 Southampton players. There is not a bone in my body that was like, you know what, Southampton's on the TV today.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I know they got
Yeah.
Dibbling, who they're trying to sell for 100 million, but they're gonna get 30. I know what they
They got Diaz, Ben Brereton.
Oh, right. Who can't score a goal?
Recently found out he's Chilean, I believe.
right.
The language.
Yeah.
Excited.
They had a funny last name. I think the center mid, his last name was Smallbone. That's
Will
terrible.
Smallbone.
Yeah, that's terrible.
The day is long.
Yeah. So there's those players, but maybe for this one, Smitty, I know you had you wanted to talk about Amarim. We'll let you cook here for a little bit.
Ruben Amarim, 22 Premier League matches, 6 wins, 4 draws, 12 losses. They have set a Manchester United record for home defeats in a season. Now, I know some of those were Ten Hag, but the majority of them are Amarim. In Eric Ten Hag's first 22 league games, United won 65% of them. In Ruben Amarim's 22 league games,
No.
they've won 30% of them. Ten Hag's Manchester United had a plus 19 goal differential in 22 games, and Amarim's is minus 10. Despite playing 5 at the back, Amarim's side has conceded twice as many goals in the first 20 Premier League fixtures as Ten Hag's did. Now, he's gone into a bad situation. But everyone wants to keep telling me, there's somebody on this podcast that keeps telling me, Manchester United, their players aren't that bad. Their players aren't that bad. So either the players suck or the manager sucks. There's no in between. They can't be 14th or 15th, whatever they are. It doesn't matter. If you were below 10th in the table and you were Manchester United, you might have to liquidate the football club and start from scratch. And Ruben Amarim is not making it any better. He's arguably making it worse. And here's the problem. If he doesn't start getting results, by Christmas next year he'll be gone, and they'll go through the same cycle as they continuously do. And I can't wait for it to happen because I'm a Liverpool fan, and I can just see it happening already. I just know it's going to happen, and I can't wait. I'm excited.
Boys, any thoughts on this before I give my 2 cents? Anything you want to talk about?
I'll say I've never seen a manager be given such a long leash in my life. Like, they make it sound like Ten Hag's been managing since February. Like, Amarim just gets to do whatever he wants to do. And say, oh, it's the system. The players are not used to the system. I've seen Dorgu play left back and right back. I've seen Delo play right back, left back. I've seen Hoyland and what's my man's name?
Xerxes.
I've seen Hoyland and Xerxes on the pitch at the same time. I've seen Garnacho play both wings. I don't know what the issue is. It's got to be Ruben's got to be a part of it, but that's a stinky squad.
The numbers are the numbers, and the numbers are bad. But if you if you just watch the games, like by now he should have a clue of who's playing where and who fits and who doesn't. Like, this whole playing a different 11 every week and swapping out 5 guys from the team. Like, if the players suck that bad, they suck that bad. Or do they? Maybe they do. But you can't be this low on the table.
Yeah.
Fair.
At some point, you have to pick an 11. Like, you have to pick an 11, stick with the 11, and let them go.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of a lot of what Man United's dealing with is just so like external as well, with so many just different things going on. And if if I'm gonna be honest with it, I feel like the situation with Amram and just trying to keep his style and everything, there's there's a point where if we do go off the logic that the players aren't good enough, like let's just stick with that logic, then keep your system. Like F it. Like at this point,
No, because you're gonna get fired.
if you
Don't keep your system.
this
They're not fixing. They can't spend money. There's not going to be
This
money
one-
to spend. They
but
can't
Smitty,
fix it.
Smitty.
They're gonna buy Cunha. He's gonna come in with the biggest ego in the world and cause the same problems as the players they have now. They're gonna pay $60 million for him, which is a fair price. They're gonna give him $300,000 a week over 5 years, and in 3 years he'll have flamed out and he'll have pissed everyone off, and he won't be worth a damn. Just like every other player that goes there.
I simply disagree
like
because
him.
man,
He's good.
we love Cunha here. We love Cunha here. I just think with Manchester United, they've been on this downward trajectory. Like it was Ten Hag, what, third in a Carabao Cup and then eighth in an FA Cup. They were always sliding down the table. Like Ten Hag or Amarim, they were always sliding down the table. So you might as well just implode this and just let Amarim do what he wants to do this season. And if people want to speak about it, if Ten Hag's on this, or if Ten Hag's on someone's list, then you have to look at what he was doing in Europa League competition too, because they weren't winning. Like they were not gonna be in the next round of Europa League, and Amarim's came in and saved. The only saving grace he gave there was putting them in the semifinal.
What's the point of playing the same system if all the players suck and none of them are going to be there? He's just damaging his own goods right now.
You just said there's no money, so they're gonna be there. So they're gonna be
So
there.
they're going to suck next year. So get a manager that plays 4-3-3 like any normal human being on earth does.
No.
Yes.
Because if they're gonna be there, you might as well work out your system now this season. Imagine what happens. What happens if they make Champions League?
They suck.
What happens if they make Champions
They'll
League?
finish in the bottom 10 and they'll be done. They suck.
If they win Europa League,
they have no business winning Europa League. If
But
they
what
do,
if they
God bless them. I'd
ahead,
back
Gio.
Spurs to beat them, to be honest with you.
Say what Amarim and Ange are both dealing with is systems that are built for teams that dominate leagues. It works for Sporting. It works at Celtic. When you're going to beat a majority of the teams because of the players are already just better than every other player. My issue with United is, and I think Ten Hag does deserve to be on this list because the decisions he made, getting rid of De Gea, bringing in Onana, getting rid of McTominay and Fred. I don't care what nobody says.
McFred, I like it. I like it.
McFred would have never allowed this to happen. McFred would never allow them to be this low on the table. Just
Neither
off
would
pure
Paul.
passion alone. Paul wouldn't allow it. Anthony would never allow this, dog.
I don't know the clip they just dropped to Anthony La Liga. Did y'all see that?
It's
Him
crazy.
dribbling. Yeah, that was crazy.
It's crazy.
That
It was crazy. But a lot of the Ten Hag decisions have led to them being in this position. Buying Anthony, buying Onana, getting rid of some of the players they got rid of. But Amarim is also not making it easy for himself. You got to start playing. You can't just come in and say 5 at the back, and it's all going to work out. You got to simplify things a little bit.
But I think he knows that though, because during his press conferences, he says like, "We're shit." Plain and simply, like he said that before. So
Yes.
he might as well just work it out.
How are they going to get better?
Yeah.
He's working on the system now. I don't think you guys realize
What's the
he's
system doesn't matter. That's my point. The system doesn't matter.
I think it does.
the system? No, it doesn't. Because they're
I
going to have
think
the
it
same
does.
players next year. They have players that they knew they had to get rid of 3 years ago that they can't get rid of. You're playing Garnacho as a 10. Why is Garnacho playing as a 10?
He's not playing as a
He's
10.
not a 10.
He's
Yes,
not
he
playing
is.
as a 10.
Inside
Yes, he
forward his position. He's playing.
You're not calling that a 10. Come
It's
on.
not a 10, but he does go wide. But I get what he's saying. It's like he's sort of playing
okay.
but it doesn't matter because then you have whoever's playing, because Garnacho should be playing on the left side. It should be Dorgu overlapping, and it kind of ends up being the same situation. Like, And the
Yeah,
midfield doesn't have any creativity. Like you're putting Bruno in the 6. I'm seeing Bruno and Ericsson play next to each other. And bro, you're on the list, dog. You're on the list. Just for that alone. Just for the no legs alone. That's crazy.
I saw Luke Shaw play today. I turned on the TV. I said, "What the hell is Luke Shaw doing on my screen?"
I
I
couldn't
forgot he was
believe it.
there.
I thought Mount was going to come on. I had to turn it off. I was like, "I'm turning this off before I see Mount," because if I would have seen Mount, I would have threw a shoe through the screen.
It's all these things about the players.
Yeah, but
Amber's just
you tell me the players are good.
what I say, Smitty. We're basing it off your logic. The players are bad. We're basing it off everyone's logic.
They are.
The players
They're
are bad.
both bad. The manager's bad and the players are bad.
Yeah.
They haven't had a good manager since Ole, and he wasn't good either, but he was doing better than these guys are.
Do you think? Question for you guys: if Amarim and Pep switched spots, do you think Pep would do worse or better with this United team?
They wouldn't be 14th with Pep. No way.
Yeah.
No way.
And then Emerald, because
We're
of
playing a back five at City.
but how good the City squad is, they would be able to win more games because they would just dominate the games. The players at United are just not good enough. Like I said, you could do it at Sporting when you got to play. Oh my God, I can't even name some Vittoria or something. When you play all them guys, you can dominate the game like that. But when you got to play a Fulham team that really wants to win, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The back five is not going to work here.
If we get the next season and they lose 4 of their first 6 games, everyone will be saying he's getting sacked by Christmas.
Yep.
It's just how it's going to happen. So he's going to have to figure it out, whether he's on the list or not. It hasn't been good enough.
And he won't be
I
able
agree.
to really bring in players that will elevate the team because they won't be in Europe next year.
Okay, we'll see.
Exactly.
We'll see. We'll see about that one, GL.
If you don't see it happening, then won't.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
Okay.
and
one.
if if they are in Europe, they probably should just change the rules. Because that team, them and Spurs should never be playing Champions League football next year. No
Well, I
matter
don't want to
what.
see it.
I mean, all this to say that I had my 5 literally on my notes right now. Like 6 in all caps is Amarim. Like he's right there for me. So
Yeah.
if like you want to have him on the list, what was that, Lando?
You have Pep as a worse manager than Amram?
Yeah. I mean,
I just wanted to clarify.
That's
Okay.
getting clipped. That's got to get clipped.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to clarify that.
I've already said it. I've already said my reasons earlier. So
So I hope,
it
I
is
hope
what
the
it
TikTok
is.
comments end your life.
I mean, they already say I look like a Timu Pogba, anyways. Like, it is what it is. Okay,
Hey, to be honest, if we're in a position where if something happens to Arsenal and they start sliding down the table, I'll use your pep point for why Arteta should be in the list. Because like I said earlier, if you told somebody that City doesn't win the league, who's going to win it? It should have been Arsenal. This was the year. It should have been the year.
If they didn't have injuries, I'd have Arteta on this list, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I give
man.
him grace because they have had a ton of injuries.
For me, when you have that City team go through 13 games winless, I just see that as unacceptable.
You know what? You make a
I
make a
see
good
that
point.
as unacceptable,
You make a good point.
and that's all.
You make a good point.
I understand if the United players are trash and they're where they are, but with that City squad, 13 winless is crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Manchester United is one of the most prestigious clubs in the world, and they're 14th place right now in the Prem, 3 points out from 17th, and it's going to be the worst Premier League finish ever.
Couple that with Champions League, who knows? Who knows? But I'm good. I'm good on Amarim. Anything else that you guys want to talk about before we go to your next person on the list, Gio?
I'm good.
We're good. We're good. So what number are we on? 3?
3.
Okay.
So I said Graham Potter, but
I'm with you.
that should be switched out for Lopetegui. That's bad. Like I think Graham Potter walked into that job thinking he could, do a little bit better. But man, Lopetegui had a full summer, no complaints, and they were not that they were bad, they were just very unorganized, like at the beginning of the season.
Well, yeah, I mean, I had the chance to watch them against like Chelsea live, and
Yeah,
what happened at West Ham State? That was disgraceful. The through balls
yeah.
that Nico Jackson was able to get onto and score was criminal. So there is that part. But here's where my issue with Potter or Lopetegui is. We all sat here and said West Ham had a brilliant summer. Like their transfer window was absolutely class. So when you have that type of like vibe going with you, and Lando, you don't have to scroll anymore. They're right below Manchester United.
Yeah.
That is disgraceful. That is absolutely disgraceful, and no one's really talked about how like the expectation to reality for West Ham is crazy this year.
9,
Oh, go ahead.
9, 9, and 16.
Yeah.
Well, on the bright side, they've only lost one more game than United have. But I have Lopetegui had 6 wins, 5 draws, and nine losses this season. But if you just watch them play, like Gio said, they looked like they had no clue in hell what they were doing. And when you arguably they had a top 3 transfer window, we were like, oh, look at all these good players they're bringing in. And none of those players performed, which is probably down to the manager just being shit, to be honest.
Both
Who
of
did
them
they
or
bring
just
in this
one?
summer?
Both of them.
Okay.
Potter steadied the ship a little bit, but the
I don't
problem
know.
is you
He
can't really
slowly
steady the
steadied it.
ship when you're in 17th. There's not much steadying to do.
Yeah. Who did they bring in this summer? It was Kudos and
No. Kudus was the year before. They had like yeah, I think so.
Fulkrug.
Fulkrug was there. Somerville was there. The midfielders, Soler, I think they had Tadibo. Not Maverick. The Killman from Wolves.
Wan-Bissaka,
Oh
Wan-Bissaka,
yeah.
great right back.
Yeah.
Ferguson in
absolutely quality.
January.
Man United didn't capitalize on that one.
Mm-hmm. He'd be
Yeah.
doing great there.
I think it was a thing where the manager tried to like overstep and he shot a little bit too high with the tactics and all that, and it just wasn't the right time for that.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like Smitty and I have talked about it before. West Ham just has to realize what West Ham is. We don't need to do no tiki taka. We don't need
Yeah.
to have all these like intricacies. If you have Thomas Suchek on the pitch, get the ball in the box and let this man cook.
Yeah.
If you have Jared Bowen, give him the ball, let him run at players.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. They have to dumb it down because that's just what West Ham is.
Well, they got
About a serious team. They blow bubbles out before every game. This is not a serious place.
Lopetegui has Pep disease.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
that's
do you
why-
know what Pep disease is?
What is Pep disease?
Smitty, you want to give him a little rundown?
Pep disease is when shitty managers with shitty players try to play football like Pep played with Prime City, where they think they're going to have 70% possession and 40 shots in a game, and they're managing Southampton.
Well, a man I left off my list was McKenna at Ipswich, but beginning of the season, he had a little bit of Pep disease.
He did.
He had it a little bit.
Dude, they were talking about McKenna at the beginning of the season like he was going to get a Big Six job next.
No.
They said he should have managed England. He should have got the England job. They said he should have got the England job, and he interviewed for the Man United job, like in the summer. Yeah.
United should have just got Southgate.
That was close. It was close.
Harry
It was pretty
Maguire
close.
would be their top goal scorer if Southgate was there. 1,000%.
Oh my God.
1,000%.
They'd be getting so many clean sheets. So many 0-0s.
I will
Back
guarantee if they had Southgate instead of Emmerich, they would be higher in the table.
Man, they both
I
play
would
back
guarantee
five.
that.
You're probably right. I think the ceiling with Amram's higher, but the floor with Southgate's higher. Like Southgate at his worst is probably better than Amram's worst. But Southgate's best is is not good.
It's not
Yeah.
high.
Continue. Who else we got on the list here?
Yeah. Who's your number 2? Because there's one that I wanted to give an honorable mention to as well.
Go ahead.
I know they're still fighting for top 4, but Enzo Maresca needs to come to the stand, man. Like this Chelsea squad, a similar run to Pep. I think it was like 4 wins in 16 or something egregious. There's just so much going on, and when you keep having this goalkeeper debacle, you keep having this center back debacle, you keep having Cole Palmer underperforming for the most important part of the season. There's just so many aspects to it, and I get it. There's things that go on at Chelsea that no one expects because their owner is just going to be like, "Oh, 60 million for some 16-year-old? You got to play him." Like it's stuff like that.
Kenny,
So,
Chelsea's owner wakes up in the morning and goes, "We spent too much money this month. The hotel that the Los Angeles Dodgers own, can we just sell that to Chelsea?"
yeah.
Yes. Oh, Chelsea's women's team, they're worth X amount of dollars. Let's just sell them to the Dodgers. Oh,
Yeah.
now we're complicit.
But the thing you missed before that whole process, he wakes up, he puts in that FIFA's like 24 disc. He gets ready, on the sticks, and he goes, career mode seems to be ready. Let's see what Wonder
Players.
Kids let's see what Wonder Kids we can get here. So
I think he goes to the scouting meeting. He says, anybody Brazilian, 8-year contract.
they just go like, Hoga Benito? See you in the end.
Oh man.
But
I think Enzo, a lot of injuries. Because I think if Caicedo and Lavia get a chance to really if you
those
give
two
them a
together
good,
is crazy.
if you give them a good 35 games, it's a different conversation. But I just think the fan base just does not like it, and that's how I know a manager isn't really good. If the fan base despises you, and a lot of Chelsea people I know do not like Enzo, so that's why he's my honorable mention.
Yeah, there's a chance that he finishes below Pochettino last year, and
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy. But at the end of the day, I think Chelsea fans are just realizing if Enzo's leading this team, we're not ever going to win a Premier League, and that's their goal.
Yep.
So I just want to get him on a shout because was this a former Leicester coach as well that somehow snuck his way?
Well, he's one of Pep's disciples. I mean, Chelsea's goal just shouldn't be winning the Prem.
Okay, all right. That's
This season,
They should just wait another 4 years, and then
This-
maybe if it all works out and all these young players hit their prime in 4 years, they'll be dominant. If it doesn't work out, everyone's gonna look like an idiot.
it's just crazy.
If Esteval is who they say he is, they should be winning it within the next 4 to 5 seasons.
Yeah, I'm still not over the fact that their Champions League was 3-4 years ago, so the fact that they're in this state is nuts. But
And to be fair, they didn't deserve that. Well, it's hard to say they didn't deserve it, but
just going back.
they kind of got lucky. I mean, Tuchel had them in a very good.
No, we can't do it. Okay.
Okay. Let's be the winning goal against Man City. How did it happen? Who were the 2 players involved in the winning goal to get Chelsea the Champions League trophy?
Hey man, it's not about that.
And where are they now? It was Mason Mount and it was Timo Werner.
Yep.
That's all I got. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say.
Hey man, I don't want any smoke from Chelsea fans because fair
I
enough.
don't care.
Yeah.
They barely root anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, we can wrap this up though. Was that number 2, or was that 3?
No, I had Gary O'Neill too, second,
Okay.
but that's because when Wolves were winning a lot of games last season, he went on the press tour breaking down the tactics of Wolves, and I didn't like that. So when he got back this year,
That's real beef. I like that.
real beef.
Yeah, as long as it makes sense. But,
Yeah.
Okay, I have no problem with that reasoning. Yeah, we can just go to number 1, and then we'll wrap it up with if we can finalize this list.
All right. Number 1 is my boy Ange. And Ange Nosferatu. It's done. I just have an issue with the way he plays football when he knows the squad isn't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just all it is, man. It's just you gotta say Spurs is a big mix. It's just a lot of mess going on right now. It's a lot going on. But you gotta look at yourself and say, Brennan Johnson should not be playing as many minutes as he's playing. Wilson Odebear, love the kid, looks like a great guy. He's not it. You can't have these players just darting forward for no reason and then have nothing behind them. Just nothing. Jed Spence at right back, love him. At left back, I love him. He's just running forward. They just got their heads down, not trying to pass the ball. It's just not it. The system doesn't work, and he
Yeah.
doesn't change the system.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Yep. I agree. And then one of the bright points of your season, I thought, was Kulisevsky. But ever since I think he got hurt, there's just been so much just going or just not going in his favor that it's like,
Exactly.
yeah.
And it's just common sense things that he just gets wrong. Like, in what world would you say Madison and Kulisevsky should play in the midfield together?
Yeah.
In what world? With Benson Kirk behind them. Like, it's just common sense things that just don't help you out as a manager.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
No, I'm with you, and I'm curious to see how many hamstring injuries have been accumulated this season because, like you said, if the system's the same and you keep having this high line, I can't like give you grace for all these injuries when you're the main problem. Like you're the source of why they're getting hurt. Like if you're gonna change it, plain and simply, just change it so your team can work.
And that's my issue with Spurs fans because I'm not gonna say we because I'm not a part of this collective of people. They'll say, "Oh, well, just wait for everybody to come back. It'll be fine when everybody comes back." I've seen the system this season when everybody came back, it wasn't successful. We've had moments where everybody was playing and everybody was fit. It wasn't successful. We started losing more games when you had to play more of the squad. But as you got to realize some things. Ben Davies and Archie Gray was my back two for most of the winter.
Mm.
You can't play the same style of football.
No.
You just can't do that.
Yeah. Smitty, Lando, any final thoughts here? Because I feel like this one for sure we have a number one lock.
Yes.
Anything you want to talk about, Ange, for?
No, I just feel, like you said, I feel bad for the players. I think Van de Ven probably got maybe 2 to 3 years left before his career is just
That's what
done.
it looks like.
He's not going to be able to run anymore, and he's brilliant. I just hope these young players that they bought, like Archie Gray and Bergvall, I hope they don't ruin them because I think both of them have a really good potential. But you got some bad players. I mean, Son, like you said, everyone loves him, but he's old. I mean, it's probably time to go. And once he goes, if you have to give the captain's armband to Vicario, so be it.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Vicario.
Oh my gosh.
You want to talk about flippy flappy? That man.
See, Gio, we have a top 5 worst goalkeeper episode coming out soon, and
He's got to be there.
If you do want to be a part of it, we can schedule that with you. But once we get to that goalkeeper talk, we will adjust the flippy flap because
I've never seen a keeper get pushed to the ground on so many corners in my life.
Yeah, no, it's not looking good. But let's see if we can come to a conclusive list real quick here. So, number 1, we have Ange. We all on board with Ange being the worst in the league?
I'm cool with Ange at 1.
Lock it.
Okay, who do you want for 2?
Van Nistelrooy.
I like, to be honest, I like it. I like it.
I was about to say Amarim.
2?
I'll give him a 3.
I'm only giving grace.
put
It's his
3.
first half season.
He'll be on there. He's on there. Not a 2 though. Not a 2. Let's keep Rude at 2. I mean,
All right.
I mean Rude.
Rude at 2.
Rude at 2.
Who's 3?
Either Amarin or
Golly.
West Ham. West Ham.
or
at
West
2.
Ham or West Ham.
West Ham.
I think
With Lopetegui.
a Potter Lopetegui
Mix.
mix right there. I'm okay with that.
Man, y'all are giving Amarim a lot of credit.
It's
I don't know,
absolutely
but-
crazy that Southampton didn't even make this list. That's how bad the players are at Southampton. Southampton's players are so bad that they're not going to get more than 15 points this season, right? And
They
their
got
manager
11.
isn't one of the 5 worst managers in the
You
league.
could
Yeah.
probably make a case that Wrexham's going to be in the Prem before Southampton.
Oh, I
I
don't
bet you they
know.
will.
There's
Yeah.
a chance.
Will.
They're playing. Aren't they in the same league this year?
They
Yeah.
They're
are.
going back. Yeah, they'll be in the same league next year.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
But Southampton's one of those like yo-yo where they go down, they come back up. You know.
Yeah, but I'm sick and tired of Kyle Walker-Peters. He ain't a wonder kid anymore. I've seen this man. He's done. He's done. No more wonder kids. You're not
Yeah,
even
he-
Wonder Man anymore. It's over. It's over.
He's a man. He is grown now.
He's
It's
just
a
a
little.
grown.
It's time to
Yeah.
go.
It's time to go.
I could
Minus
see Vardy
55
like
goals.
Wrexham.
I can see that. I said that the other day.
That'd be class.
I said that the other day. I said,
him and
uh,
Paul Mullen.
Yeah.
"Oh,
Super Paul Mullen.
I'll be there."
Oh man, that'd be sad. Oh, but okay. Number 4. If you guys want Amarim,
Yeah, he's got
you
to
want to put it there.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Okay.
Ooh, he got let him off easy.
But okay. And then rounding out top 5 worst manager, who should be 5th? We said some good names. So
Who are the options? Pep, Dyche,
Pep's in there, Deitch is in there,
Gary O'Neill.
Gary O'Neill.
Gary O'Neill's
Enzo.
a good shout. Enzo Maresca's a good shout too.
Yeah, I'm fine with Enzo.
I would love if Enzo's on the list. I think someone with a Pep disease variant needs to be there, and I think Enzo is the perfect candidate to round the 5.
Go Enzo.
Lando, any thoughts here?
different here. I don't know.
What are you thinking?
I mean, I feel like Southampton's still just minus 55 goal differential.
They actually. Okay.
Like, how do you not put the worst team in the league, quickest Premier League elimination? How do you not include them at 5?
Yeah, but like Fergie couldn't have got them to avoid relegation. I don't
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
If you have a midfielder named Smallbone, it's looking long the entire season. Like,
Play a 5-3-2 all year.
how do you know? Wait, you watch them?
Imagine-
I'm telling you, I have no clue what Southampton does.
You know what
It
Southampton
worked.
should
Whatever
have
it
done?
was, it didn't work.
But before the season started, Southampton should have said, "Screw it, we're spending all of our money and we're getting Jose Mourinho,
Yeah.
and we're going to make this season memorable."
Mourinho with Southampton would be cinema.
why Southampton shouldn't be on the list for me is like I feel like their ownership doesn't even want to be in the Prem. Like they don't want to spend money. They don't care. Like they just want to go back up and down. That's all they care about.
They like getting the payments you get when you get relegated.
Exactly. The parachute payment. It's a thing of in baseball where like you're too good for AAA, but you're not good enough for MLB, so it's called
Yeah.
4A. They are a 4A team.
Mm.
They need to be in that in between, and that's it.
That's perfectly well said.
That's it.
Yeah. I'm good with this list. You guys good with this list? We did it. We figured out the top 5 worst. To all the viewers out there, let us know your list in the comments. I'm sure maybe we missed one. Maybe you have a better reasoning than some of us, but Gio, an absolute pleasure for you to step on. What
Yeah.
a debut. What a debut. Thank you for being on.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, no, of course. To anyone still listening, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all that. Smitty, won the league.
Champions,
Love that. So, drop 5 on Gio. So we got Smitty, we got Lando, we got Gio, we got Kenny, and to take you guys out of here, to give reference to Gio's TikTok that we've loved so much. Take me to Bodo Glem. Take me to Bodo Glem. Tired of watching Tottenham. They're always at the bottom. Take me to Photo Club. Peace.
Peace.